Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm answering a Dear Ruth Theresa question. That's right. Not only did I get this from a student of mine not too long ago, but I also got it from a recent client. So I thought, if they're two going through it, maybe you're going through it as well. So let's talk about it. So the question is, Dear Ruth Theresa, why do I feel like everybody is against me or every situation is my job to fix? That's a great question. So one of the things that I get with this is a lot of times, especially clairsensitives, and both of them are, both my student and the client are both very clairsensitive. And so a lot of times clairsensitives kind of almost take it upon themselves to take over when it actually should be someone else's job to take care of. So that's kind of an interesting energy because clairsensitives just have such a heart and they always want to be of service to other people. And so usually what they end up doing is they end up calling themselves on things. They're like really mean to themselves, kind of like talking to themselves really like, bad, like that. And I did things wrong, or I should have done things differently, or that, kind of like changing that energy. And then when it comes to someone else, they're very lenient and very kind, even if it was that other person's job to do it correctly. And so I think that's kind of one of those interesting energies where clairsensitives are kind of, they don't want to be mean to someone else. And so it's okay to be mean to me because other people have been mean to me before. And that kind of can be a little bit harsh as well when you're kind of like, I want this person to do this, or this person promised me this, or or in the contract, this person is supposed to do this, and it didn't come out that way, or they didn't do what they were supposed to do, or they didn't deal with it in the way they were supposed to. And that can kind of feel like, make that clairsensitive kind of put it back on themselves, like, maybe I'm asking too much, or maybe saying like I'm too demanding or whatever else. And a lot of times it's because there's such a clear heart energy of they don't want to put too much pressure on someone else, or they don't want to call someone else on something because they're like, I know when I haven't been ready for something and someone's called me on it, and I just feel like overwhelmed, or I feel like like I'm not ready to answer that yet. What I'm saying? And so they're like, I don't want to feel like put that person on the spot, or I don't want to, make them feel out of place or make them feel bad or whatever else. And I'm like, but that was their job. That was their job, was to do those items. Their job was to take care of that for you. Their job was to mow your yard or trim a tree or whatever it is. And so that's the really important part in this, is that they are in control of what's going on. They're in control of what's going on. And instead of you contacting them and going like, hey, you were supposed to fix this and it's not completely fixed, or our contract is that you're supposed to trim the tree or mow the yard once a month or whatever it is, and you're not holding up to your end of the agreement, the clairsensitive kind of goes, well, maybe I'm being too demanding, or maybe I shouldn't be, all that kind of stuff. And it's okay to be sensitive to people and to be on point with people as well. So it's kind of like that sensitive, like, yes, I can hear their side of it, things are going on. And then also like knowing like you have a contract with this person, or you had even if it's a verbal contract with them, I had a verbal contract with you to mow the yard at least once a month. And so that can be something that we really kind of harshly don't deal with very well. And so it's kind of like, okay, you were supposed to mow the yard, and then they're like, well, maybe this happened or maybe that happened. And I was like, but you're not even letting them give you the excuses. You're giving the excuses for them? Really? Doesn't that seem strange? It really does, unless you're a clairsensitive. Because one of the things is, clairsensitives, we are really kind of bad at this part, is we really hold ourselves to a much higher standard than most people. And then we usually give the other people so much of the benefit of the doubt. And so let's kind of change that energy. And it's okay for us to call people on things when we have a contract with them, verbal, written, whatever it is, that they're going to do something, that we can call them on it and we can ask them about it. Like, hey, you were supposed to trim my grass in the last 30 days and you haven't done it, or whatever it is. And it's okay to call people on it, and it's okay to not fill in all the blanks. So many times, like when a clairsensitive calls somebody on something, it's kind of like, is there a reason why that you didn't mow my grass in the last 30 days. Well, you're already kind of like opening the whole door for them to go, oh, my wife got sick or whatever else, make up any excuse they want. So allow them to answer the question for you. And I think that's the best way to put it, is kind of like letting them tell you why they didn't do it or what was wrong or whatever it is, and not giving them excuses, but then also holding them to it. Our agreement was this, that I paid you the money that you were supposed to get paid, but your side of the contract isn't done. And so holding them to that end of that agreement can be very powerful and very empowering to clairsensitives, because even though you're really a sweet person and a kind and gentle and that sort of thing, you can still have stand up for yourself and kind of like, this is our agreement, this is what we're supposed to be doing at this point. So I think one of the best things to do is kind of clear out some of that old energy of where we felt someone called us on something when we were a kid or a child or young person and held us accountable for something that we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this was part of my deal or what I needed to do. And we felt overwhelmed by it. Yet it's okay to have that energy. Does that make sense? It's like, it's okay to have that energy of, wow, I didn't realize this was part of the agreement. Without kind of taking that to the next step of like, now I need to make excuses for everybody in my life. That can kind of be like, we're treating ourselves worse than anybody else is really treating us. So let's clear out some of this chaotic energy. That's the best way to put it. So if you see me light my incense, I usually do it 3 times. So I light it, blow it out, light it again, because it also helps me get in the mood or the intention of what I'm about to do with the incense. And my last time. And not only is this incense clearing my energy out, it's clearing out your energy as well. And that can be kind of one of those, like, yeah, we've got to clear out some of this energy where we're not holding other people accountable. And this is a really important one, because we can hold other people accountable and not be mean about it. So one of the things I like to do is, when I'm asking someone that something that they were supposed to do for me, not filling in the blank. Because a clairsensitive usually really doesn't like those blank spots in conversation, like just that blank. So our contract was that I will pay you X number of dollars, and every 30 days you're going to come and mow my yard. Yet you haven't held up your end of the agreement. And then just be silent. Let them come up with the reason or the excuses or whatever it is, or, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about it, whatever it is, and allow them to make it right. Allow them to fix it for you. Allow them to come up with a reason why they haven't done it. Don't give it to them. So the other part of this is when we ask people those hard questions, like, have you taken care of this, or have you done this, or whatever else, holding that line, because it's one of those, it's not only good for you and healthy for you, but it's also healthy for them to be called on it. So many times when someone doesn't do what they're say they're going to do, we always kind of like, well, maybe this happened, maybe their wife got sick, maybe they got sick, maybe they got and we're not allowing them to make it right. We're fixing it for them. Well, you can come over next week or whatever else. Allow them to fix that. Our agreement was every 30 days you're going to mow my yard, and you haven't done it. How are you going to fix this? And then be silent. That's the fun part about it, is let it be silent, and let it okay to be silent, of just allowing them to fill in those blanks, allowing them to kind of open up their energy of, now how can I make it right for this person? And they'll usually come up with something that is agreeable, or you can say, I don't think this is fair. And then silent on your part. Silence can really have them open up and kind of like, wow, they're really expecting more from me, so I need to step up to the plate. And I think that's one of the really interesting parts about being a clairsensitive is allowing someone else to fix or repair what they've done wrong, and not always feeling like it's my place or my part to fix or repair it for them. And this is a really healthy energy and a healthy way to work through things or deal with things, because a lot of times when we're always fixing it, we're not allowing them to learn how to fix it. We're learning how to fix everything, but the other person isn't allowing, I'm not allowing them to learn how to fix it and repair it. And that could be part of their lesson that they're missing, is being held accountable for what they have or have not done. Interesting, huh? And so we're going to try to do some, while I hold on to this, we're going to try to do some angel cards and hopefully get us a little bit deeper insight into how to gently or easily, here right on the bottom of the deck, there we go, to call someone on something so that they feel like they can fix things or repair things themselves. So this is the first card that's coming up. And this is the 11th house, and this is the community. This is really important because if we're in a contract together, we really are community with each other. And if I don't hold up my end of the agreement, paying you whatever it is, then you're not liable, or not kind of like, I don't want to say liable, but kind of like you're not holding up your end of the agreement. So now we need to make a new agreement. And so when we're in community with each other, we have to be on the same page. When is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? What does it entail? All of those kind of things are really important details to get from the beginning so that you know what your agreement is all about. The next card is the 3rd house of communication. It's really important to communicate all of these. I want this done. I don't want the gutters cleaned out, or I do want this done, or I want you to pick up the branches that fall out of this tree, or whatever it is. Communicating those things from the beginning and getting those on the contract can be really important, because now they know exactly what you require of them. Now they know exactly what you require of them, and so they can make adjustments to their side of what's going on. Let's see, the next one is the Midhaven and the Pinnacle. It's really important, oh, just slid to the floor. The Pinnacle is kind of like that high point of this, and having a check-in time. You know, like, I'm going to give you so many weeks to have this fixed or corrected, whatever that is, and kind of coming up with that peak time. And yes, you can be a little bit lenient, but no, you don't have to be super lenient. You can be like, okay, I'm going to give you 7 days to contact me to find out when we're going to reschedule this, or whatever it is, or I'm going to give you 2 days or 2 hours, whatever that is that you're choosing to gift to them to kind of get back on contract or get back in an alignment with you on that part. The next one is all about the 1st house, and this is the arrival. When you plan your contracts correctly, when you talk to other people correctly, and you get on the same page, this is what I expect from you, and this is what you can expect from me, then we kind of really arrive at the same place at the same time. And we're kind of really, arrival is kind of being on the same page. When we're on the same page at the same time, we are both going to be happy. We're both going to be happy about the contract, instead of going like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with them again. We're going to be both on the same page at the same time. And so starting that out correctly can be one of the best things. But if you haven't started it out correctly, you can start that now, starting that communication right here, right now. The next card is introspection, and this is the 12th house. And that's kind of really important, kind of taking time before you sign this next contract, because one of them was saying, like, I have a yard guy that doesn't do this, doesn't do what he's supposed to do, and a lot of times she has to pay someone else to come in during the summer months to do things that he won't do, or that he's only coming once a month to do yard cleanup or maintenance during the summer. And oh my gosh, our grass in Houston grows like weeds during the summer. So it's one of those, before you sign that next contract, is this working for you, or is this not working for you? Because a lot of times we just kind of go, it's kind of working, because we're in the part where it's not working so bad in our favor. But really think about that before you sign a contract, before you do something like this or set up something with someone else. Make sure that you have done some introspection work for yourself of, what is it that I really require from this person? What is it? And making sure that that's in the contract or modified at that point. And then that person also has a time to say, I'm not going to sign this contract. We're out of contract. I'm going to change, or you need to change, or whatever it is. So that kind of gives them a great opportunity to rethink things, and it also gives you a time to rethink things. This is Neptune, and this is all about the vision. This is a really important one. Envisioning what your side of the contract should be, or how do you want it written, or how is that going to go? Are you going to use this yard service or a different one? Are you going to use this landscaping service or that one, or whatever it is? Having that contract, lay it down, saying like, these are the contracts, these are the modifications, this is what I want done, when, and all that kind of stuff, and envisioning it. Is it going to work for you? Is it going to work for you and what you require in your life? And that's really important to kind of keep in mind as we have Clairsentive working through amazing energies. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.